Here's me like imitating the dinosaurs, doing a little smoochy smooch. Family fit check, just me and my mom.
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. Kate Gosselin. She returned to social media briefly, in a video with her daughter Maddie on TikTok. We haven't seen her in quite a while. She left the limelight. She's no longer on Kate Plus Date, Kate Plus 8, Kate and John Plus 8, all of those shows. Kate Gosselin was the biggest Karen of the world. We met her, and she is the woman that introduced the world to the Karen haircut. And Kate Gosselin, for sure, is going to talk to your manager about everything. So Kate, and you guys, I had to cut my hair once really short because my hair started falling out last year, and y'all were like calling me Kate Gosselin or Karen, and I was just like, I am so not Karen, and I'm so glad my hair is not like that anymore because that was like the worst haircut ever, and I don't ever want to be called Kate Gosselin again. So back to the story at hand. She returned on a TikTok, so we haven't seen her in a while. She took the kids out to go shopping for back to school. They moved to North Carolina, right? So she sold the big house that they bought when they were on the show, the house that she said that John and her bought for the kids, that would be the kids, it would be in the kids' trust, it was for them, and that's where they were going to stay and live for the rest of their lives. But she ended up selling the house. There was a lot of questions about, is she going broke? Does she have any money? Blah, 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 blah. We don't know a lot about where she's at in North Carolina. They've not given us a lot of like information about the city that they've moved into or anything like that. It's been pretty quiet, which, to be honest, not a bad thing. She's probably enjoying a little bit of an anonymity, right? Well, when she left, there was a few things that were going on with Kate legally that were causing some problems. And there was some questions on whether or not she might face criminal charges related to a complaint that was filed against her by one of her ex-employees. So we actually reported this, I don't even remember, a while back, where one of her employees basically filed a criminal complaint claiming that Kate had not paid her like $55,000. Yes, that's right. So one of Kate's employees named Andrea Novak, she filed a criminal complaint in the state of Pennsylvania. She stated that Kate owed her $55,278. So according to the complaint, Andrea claimed that Kate willfully failed or refused to pay the employer contributions, reimbursement, interest, and or penalties as required under the U.S. law. And then they also said that the amount that she owed might change over time until hearing was date because of like interest and accrual and all that stuff. So it's interesting because in the state of Pennsylvania, I guess you can file a criminal complaint, but it's not the same as like filing criminal charges it's like a civil criminal complaint. So she was claiming that Kate broke the law criminally and refused to pay her. So she was like, in a way, saying like, I've been ripped off. And there was, what's going to happen here? Is she going to have to go to jail? Is she going to have to, make a deal? Well, it sounds like something happened because the case was actually dismissed. The trial had been scheduled for September 8th. And now the case has been withdrawn. Now, it doesn't say why the case was withdrawn. It doesn't say if the judge dismissed it or if they requested it. It says withdrawn. My guess, and this is only based on my limited experience with lawsuits in general, is that as trial dates come to fruition, parties will often come to a settlement to end the dispute so that they don't have to go through the lengthy process of going to trial because trials are so expensive. So as they're preparing to go to trial, something happens and it gets dismissed and it's withdrawn, which makes me feel like there might have been a settlement here. So this is actually really good news for Kate because she was dealing with some serious financial worries. According to sources last fall, remember, she sold her house. She doesn't have the same income streams coming in. She's living off the savings that she made from the show and all of the money she made while she was on the show. And she's doing the mom life now in North Carolina. And because she doesn't have the same income streams coming in, she's had to make changes into her life and to her spending because of that significant change in her life. Kate, who could theoretically be maximizing her social media network and promoting products and, you know, doing swipe ups and being a influencer, has seemingly fled social media. She showed up on TikTok with Maddie, or ever since John Gosselin has come out swinging and basically accused her of a variety of different things, from abusing Colin to alienating him from his children, to being a narcissist, to having undiagnosed mental health issues that she's not treating, to being completely impossible to work with as a parent. Ever since he has dragged her on Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz and every doctor and the Daily Mail and anyone that will do an interview with him, John has gone out of his way to drag Kate. And Kate has not responded. In fact, the only time Kate responded was when there was an altercation that took place between Colin and John, which had police involvement where no charges were filed. And John admitted that Colin was very upset. He had to do a therapeutic hold, he says. Colin apparently was very angry that day and threw some things at his car and was having an explosive reaction. He claimed that and still claims that all of Colin's problems are because of the abuse that he suffered by his mother, which I think is probably not totally true. I'm sure there's mental health diagnoses that are not associated with Kate, but that's just me. Kate then said that John was abusive. She didn't want her kids around him, that enough was enough. She ran to People magazine and said that he is a monster. I mean, those weren't her exact words. And that was the last time we've heard from her, literally. So this was a woman who was constantly on social media, that was constantly on TV for years, over a decade. She had no problem putting all of her things out on social media for a long time. When you go to her Instagram, the very last time she's posted was July 13th of 2020. And she said, braces are a thing of the past in this house, finally. And when you go to the comments, it's just so many comments of things like this. No more Instagram, Kate. I miss your post. I mean, there's even a comment from yesterday. When do your kids start school? Hopefully we get to see a picture. Aw, no more Instagram. I miss your posts. I hope all is well. So people are still trying to figure out where Kate has gone. This was a woman who didn't always update, but leading up to her leaving Instagram, I mean, she would go for sure long periods of time of not posting. But once she lost her show, so she got fired by TLC leading up to a dispute involving the kids and contracts and her not having the proper permits. TLC fired her, and she admitted that they fired her. So contractually, she was not obligated to promote or post on her social media anymore. And once that happened, she all but left social media, which makes me wonder, like, what is her next step? Like, what is she gonna do? She gets this case dismissed, which is phenomenal. She's moved to North Carolina. I don't think I would have ever imagined Kate just sneaking into obscurity. Like, I don't think I ever would have imagined her just disappearing like this. I've not very frequently seen someone with as public of a platform as her for as many years as she has to just disappear, not post, not say a word. I mean, she's not responded to any of the allegations that John has made against her. Part of me wanted to believe every word that John said, and then another part of me realizes that even if Kate is half of the terrible things that John says, John going online and constantly airing out their drama to the tabloids helps no one. And at least Kate's not doing that anymore. Maybe Kate is finally not wanting to engage publicly in the back and forth. Maybe she's taking a step for her own mental health. Maybe she wants time away from the spotlight. Maybe this will be good for her to recharge. I'm still privately wondering, publicly, privately, whatever, what's going to happen next. Do you think she'll come back? Do you think she'll try to do another TV show? Do you think she's ever going to come back to social media? Do you think she's gone for good? I'm glad to hear that this issue was resolved, whether it was a settlement or just dismissed by the court. That's great. Doesn't look like she has any outstanding charges for anything else in Pennsylvania, which is also good news. So end of the day, Kate's legal problems are getting better. Personally, we know next to nothing about what's going on with her. Do you think she'll come back to Instagram? Is she going to try to rebrand herself? Or do you think she's done for good? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.